whether you have the lighting mod or not, you're going to end up in the situation ready to install the lid. And this is more or less half of the hard part of installing this is the adjustment of the lid. So you've either tightened this down or you left it loose. Either way, you're going to take the lid and put the hinge back onto the post that you removed it from, like that. And you can now use this time that it's loose or not loose to figure out which way you need to adjust the lid so that it lines up with the rest of the chest. You can see just by putting it on like that, it's pretty much aligned. It's not going to be perfect. They aren't mated that way. And this side will stick up a little bit. That's just how it is, at least on mine and the ones I've seen. But basically, you're going to want to slide this around to figure out what the best position is for you, and then you're going to want to tighten down the hinge on that plate there. You can use your finger to hold the hinge on if it's loose while you take it off to try to keep it in place. You can use a marker to mark where the hinge lines up if you can, or you can tighten it down ahead of time, put it on, see where it needs to move, take it off, and then adjust it off of the game. That's probably the easiest way to go, to have it tight, put this on, see where it needs to move, take it off, adjust, etc. Repeat. Once you get it lined up and you get that hinge tightened down, then you're going to be able to put these nuts back on. And those nuts, you can either use the ones you took off, or you can use the silver ones that we provided from our test prints here. They generally go on one way better than the other, and that's with this little ridge pointing out. Also, the end that goes on first is sort of tapered, the hole, so you can sort of tell that. And you can just go ahead and put those on those posts and thread them on by hand, or use the nuts that you took off and your ratchet to attach. Basically, when you're done with that step, you're just going to reverse the rest. You're going to put that solenoid back up through the hole, put the bushing on it that you may have taken off or fallen off, and then put the screw back in, and just put it back the way it was originally. This wire, you want to make sure is sort of out of the way. You can basically just sort of run it down here with the rest of the wires, but make sure there's enough slack so when it opens and closes, it's available. And the rod that's going to go through this hole is going to need to go around that wire one way or another. So get that all tucked in there and maybe zip tie it down to the other wires, and you'll be ready to do the next steps.